Please make welcome Cowboy Ron.
Hey, glad to be back with you. Been a lot of interest created after the airplane crash the other day. It's right across, close to Alexandria, Virginia. And as you recall, I did a story on Christ Church. That's right behind us. The question I asked you, excuse me, did a teenager actually lay out and design Alexandria, Virginia? Yes, that's true. And it was none other than President George Washington. 16 years old, and that's how he got started out in life as a surveyor. In fact, a surveyor in those days had the same prestige as a doctor or a lawyer. Now, let me tell you really about how to get there from Washington, D.C. You can cross the 14th Street Bridge, Memorial Bridge, Key Bridge. Okay. And you get on a parkway. It's a national parkway, George Washington Mount Vernon Parkway, dedicated in 1932, the 200th birthday of George Washington. And that'll take you as you leave, you're only about 2 or 3 miles out. You'll pass the Washington Sailing Marina. Before you get there, you actually pass National Airport. Washington National, now called the Reagan Airport. So you enter Alexandria, Virginia, I think established in 1754, 1749. And the streets you'll go down, the main street to get to Mount Vernon, which is another 8 miles once you leave Alexandria, is Washington Street. Now, George Washington did not name it after himself, but named it after his father. But among the things that you'll see once you leave Christ Church, there'll be a statue in the middle of the street. It's a Civil War statue, and that's in honor of the men that left Alexandria, gathered together in Alexandria, Virginia, and marched off to the South during the Civil War. In fact, I think the first casualty of the Civil War was in Alexandria. Among other things, you'll see a white house on the left-hand side as you go down. It used to have green shutters, and that was the home of John L. Lewis. Interesting thing about Mr. Lewis, he only painted the home once, and that's because the city of Alexandria passed an ordinance making him do so. Alexandria is very keen on keeping their city clean and traditional. If you were to take any of the wood off of that house, you would discover that it's actually made out of brick of smuggled over the bow of a ship from England. We would continue on down, and there's a cemetery on the left-hand side right before you get across the Beltway. Interesting thing on the Beltway, 495, it leaves Virginia, and once you get out on the bridge over the Potomac River, about 200 feet of it actually crosses over part of Washington, D.C. When they laid out Washington, D.C., it was laid out like a square. They didn't know anything about a bridge stretching a mile across. Then when you get on the other side, you're in the state of Maryland on Interstate 295 or Kenilworth Avenue Extended. And you go back, make a left, it'll take you right back into Washington, D.C. Then another 8 miles, you can follow the parkway on down to Mount Vernon, brings you right into the main entrance. Also going from D.C. is a bicycle express lane, runs right along the Potomac River. A lot of picnic areas. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit more as you come back. You'll see a picture on my short. We need to go to the short to see the pictures. The old Presbyterian meeting house, and that's where the unknown soldier from the American Revolution is buried. Oh, then you come on up, you'll see John Carlisle's house. That was a lot of the plants of the American Revolution was drawn up there. It used to be a coffee house. And I got a picture of a very small house on it. It's supposed to be the second smallest house in the world. Now it's blue. Remember, go back to did a teenager design Alexandra do the short version. It's only about 8 feet wide. Now the house originally when I came a tour guide was black with a red door, but now it's blue. And there used to be a blue smart car. You remember those? Like they were built for one out there. And the greenhouse that you'll see on there is a flounder house. And that actually, as the pitch goes up, it's boxed off. It's just half of a house. And the reason for that is when they installed when you bought property in Alexandria, Virginia, you only had so much time before you had to build on it. And if you didn't build on it, they would take it away from you. So if you didn't have enough money, you built half of a house. That saved your property. And of course, there's quite a few of them in Alexandria, Virginia. I would say probably 7 or 8. Also, there's some cobblestone streets here. And so, again, Alexandria, Virginia is the second oldest incorporated town in the United States. I enjoyed explaining this to you. And if you need information on Washington, D.C. or how to get here or there, please contact me. So until next time, Cowboy Ron saying so long.